Fucking Limpy.
The MSK Show. No prep racing, street racing, tech, the latest news, and the best interviews. You'll hear it here. You'll hear it here. The MSK Show is Trent, that no prep guy, Brian, the man, the myth, the legend, and Limpy. Keep banging that like. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And we'll be back soon. Find us on Facebook at MSK, on TikTok at Midwest_Streets, on Instagram at Midwest.Streets, and on YouTube at MSK Midwest Streets. We'll see you next time on the MSK Show.
Or this time.
All right, everybody, how you doing? Happy Thursday. Welcome to the MSK Show. We got a packed show today, and lots of guests today. Lots of good things happening here in the world. And we're going to get started here. And we have guest Tommy from the SRC channel. Tommy Hopkins. We have Cali Nate from out west for their fun last weekend. And we're going to have Mike Kotas here. You guys know him from MK Real Street Takeover. And we have Trent, the no prep guy, is our co-host. And we have Rick Dynek from noprep.com. And we have myself. So we're going to have a good time. And Limpy, the godfather of street racing, and himself here with us as well with Limpy Street Corner, and we're going to have a good time, have lots of fun, and the gloves will be off now. Just joking, but we're going to have some fun. But,
yeah, there we go. And
right.
Limpy's in with the first sign language of the night.
There we go. Get start the show off right.
Yeah.
So you guys will be able to see us on Amazon TV, Apple TV. You'll see us everywhere on the network, our RPM networks. We're on Amazon. We're on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and iTunes, and many other shows, channels as well.
Even if you need me to. No, not at all. I didn't know if you need to.
So we'll get ourselves started here, and Trent is going to kick it off.
I'm gonna try. Hey, Tommy, you're feeding back just a little bit. You're echoing back there. Just a heads up. We'll roll with it. Yeah, we'll make the best of it.
All
right, let's see here. So, who do we start with? It's like a roll of the dice over here. Who do we start with? I guess we'll start with Tommy because he's on the screen. I have to get into the right screen. I'm looking at the show and I can't do that and concentrate. That's just no good at all. So hello again, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Thursday. It's January 20th, 2022. And as Ryan said, we've got a great lineup for you. Of course, Brian, myself, co-host Limpy, Joe now, Papa Limpy, Limpy.com or thelimpy.com.
Thelimpy.com, yep.
Why is there not two E's in there? It should be the Limpy, not the. You're the Limpy. Like there's no other. Hell,
I don't know.
All right, so I had a screenshot that I got on my tablet when I was watching Old Man Bill's video this morning. He actually threw you a little credit with the word "bothum." It said right on the bottom, "bothum," according to Limpy. It's pretty funny. So, all right, we're going to start with Tommy. Tommy Hoskinson, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the show. If you guys don't know who Tommy is, he is obviously part of the SRC channel, Street Racing channel, and he's also behind SRC Photo. And recently, last, I don't know, was it maybe a year or so, Tommy, 2 years, we've been seeing more of you racing and more about your cars, obviously starting with the Blue S10 that you guys put together, which recently came back. Yep. And it's sadly stuck in a corner, but I'm sure she'll be back. Yeah. I saw it. I was like, oh God. I mean, I think I texted you. I'm like, you don't want to go see it. It's kind of sad. But so you got the Falcon now and you're out racing the Falcon, and you guys were putting in some work in Atlanta and Florida over the weekend. And I caught up on the videos, and you had quite a time in Florida. I also wanted to just kind of reach back a few weeks to Pad Wars. You run her up to Todd Spears. We had Todd and your dad on a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And I wanted to kind of get your take on Pad Wars. I think they said that was your first final at the pad, or was that the first time racing at the pad, or was it the first
Yeah,
final?
that was my first time racing at the pad. Like I had been to the pad filming and doing that kind of thing and taking pictures, but I've never actually been down that road racing.
Yeah. So what'd you think?
Well, you know, the pad's interesting. Obviously, like you go there and it looks like a racetrack. Like it looks like
they gotta scrape it.
Pairs have been down.
Yeah.
So your first idea is to just throw everything you want at it, because it just looks so good. I mean, it just looks like rubber, but it's not. You know, it's real good in the 60, but out the back, it's really tricky. I think Todd was even saying that a couple weeks back when we were watching his. It's very tricky out the back. The power management is really crucial after you get off the rubber. But it was pretty much everything I expected. The crowd and the atmosphere is just insane, especially when you're rolling up to the burnout box. And you just got people holding money over the other car, or your car, and there's just so many people. It's just a crowd of people. It's a really wild feeling, you know, a crazy experience to have.
Yeah, I know. First, you know, not being from that area, first time I really heard about the pad, I heard these stories, and I was like, it can't be like that. Then I started seeing some, you know, photos and video and stuff like that, and I was just like, it's a different world, you know. It's a different world. I'm hoping to make it down there at some point because it's just wild, and I'd like to see it myself.
Dude, it's funny. Every time we go, there's some wild story that we get. I mean, that's how every trip is. But the last time we went, Allison and I were sitting there filming, and some dude on a horse rode up and was riding down the road. Like, you never know what you're going to see at the pad. It's wild.
And I don't know where it's at in proximity to New Orleans, but I'm fairly sure it's close.
Oh, yeah, it's real close.
Yeah, I've been to New Orleans a few times, you know, doing the college kid thing and Mardi Gras and stuff, and that city is extremely confusing to navigate around. They took the grid and moved it around a river or some shit, but it's an unusual city, so it kind of fits the motif of the whole place.
Yeah,
and you know, it's cool to see you racing. It's cool to see you doing well. I was really impressed with Florida. You know, aside from that one problem you had in Florida, which I have to give you huge credit for those who haven't seen it. He redlit in Florida, and by redlit I mean he jumped by about a week and a half.
Yeah.
And I was watching the video and I was like, "What are you doing?" And then you cut to the inside of the car and you're like, "Why did I do that?" Like it was hilarious. And I thought it was pretty cool that you cut the editing and you're like, "All right, everybody, we got to talk about this." You know, trying to head the comments off, that sort of thing. I thought that was pretty cool. You just owned it. You know, I mean, shit happens, right?
Yeah, I wanted to leave it in just to show everybody that, like, you know, I was really mad at myself. And I don't even know why I did it until, you know, I explained it. But I did not understand. I wasn't even trying to, like, guess the light or anything. I was just so mad at myself. But after I, you know, calmed down and thought about what really happened, and after I rewatched the footage, I never, like, usually after I'm done backing up, I have a second to do my routine and, you know, take a deep breath and, you know, get myself mentally prepared. But if you watch back the clip, I went straight from backing up to putting it in gear, and I was on the trans brake, and I never got a chance to, like, calm down for a second. And it's really important. You know, you miss things like that, and you don't realize that that's important until it happens. You're like, damn, I really need to, you know, concentrate.
I had heard once from one of the NHRA guys, I forget who it was, but he said the trick to racing is you got to stage your brain before you stage your car.
Yeah. You know,
I didn't really understand it at the time, but it makes a lot more sense as I got older. And I mean, you know, also looking back, I skipped over one of the important parts, and for those who haven't seen the video, you should go watch it at Street Racing Channel because it's worth the watch. To say that you might have been rattled going into that race after, you know, what happened with the Mustang, I think is probably a fair assessment.
Yeah, that was the first time I had somebody wreck that I was actually racing next to.
Yeah, it's a good thing you got in front of him.
Yeah, and also, like, that was one of the wildest races I think I've ever been. You know, like, as I let go of the button, and I heard his car right next to me, and I could see his tire right next to my head. And
the footage is hilarious. You just see the car straight up next to you.
I was like, dude, when is it going to set down? Like, it just kept going. I've seen a lot of people joking, saying it was like the Fast and Furious wheelie with the Charger. That's exactly what it looked like.
You're looking for the counterweight hanging off the back. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. And he went really deep into the woods. I'm glad he was fine. I'm really glad he was fine. But that car was.
Yeah, I actually have the
rough.
video clip for you guys.
Oh boy, let's let it rip.
Here we go.
It's got no audio. Oh God, it's bad every time. The peripheral had to be wild.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun to watch. It's silent. It's like an old silent movie. Although now this begs a question because I didn't catch this when I first watched it. What does it say on your windshield? It says like button duh. What is that?
Yeah, I don't even know. That's obviously been there since we bought the car. I think Chris Pilato, he had the car before us.
Okay.
I think it was probably a reminder for him. I imagine it was probably something that a button he needed to hit before he sees it.
Right.
It's just a reminder or something. But half of it's rubbed off. I don't even know what it's supposed to say. But
yeah, I was wondering if it said like button dummy or something like that, or
something. I don't know.
That's funny. I didn't know if that was from you or whatnot, but yeah, that pass, like I said, that dude, he went straight lumberjack on that whole fucking thing. He just cut down a whole bunch of trees.
That was the most gut-wrenching part was afterwards. Like if you were there, you could hear it a little better. Obviously, the camera doesn't pick it all up, but
sure,
you
of course,
could just hear trees crunching, and you could see them falling down, and that's what was like, oh God, that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's better than one big thud and the tree just shaking and all the leaves falling off.
Yeah.
But in Florida, they grow them tall and skinny. That's just kind of how they roll.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm glad he was okay. So. And obviously, as you like to say, you redeemed yourself with a grudge victory afterwards, yeah?
Yeah, we grudge raced the guy that won. Well, I mean, he split in the finals, but he was pretty much bound to win the whole thing.
Right.
Right after that, he said he wanted to grudge race for 1,000 aside, and Billy was like, "Yep, let's do it."
That's called confidence.
Yeah.
I imagine did it feel pretty good to knock that one out and get back on your game?
Yeah. So after I made that stupid mistake, I was like, again, I was mad at myself and I was pretty sad. And I was like, hanging my head. And Billy was like, shut up. Like, come on, let's go. He just put up 1,000 for me and told me to never do it again, shake it off, and, get your head out of your ass pretty much.
Get back on the horse. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, sometimes that's the best way to do it. Just get right back on and try it again.
Yeah.
So it's good to see things working out. It's good to see you racing. It's good to see you guys going out as brothers. I think it's super fun. It's a big family thing going on. So what is the future plan? I know, in the garage where you guys are working on the Nova, and I know you're doing a lot of filming and pictures and whatnot. What's next in store for Tommy?
Well, we, as far as maintenance goes, we keep the Falcon going. It's low maintenance, and we've got a crew going right now. Our new shop, Billy's shop, and they're busting ass on the new Nova build, and it's coming along really well. And then, of course, my truck's back now, so it's stuff. We got so many projects. We have our ratio of race car drivers to race cars is 3-to-1. So. Yeah. And my girlfriend Allison, she has the Dart. That's one of my top priorities right now is getting that done for next season.
Sure.
It sucks. I the truck is going to get put on the back burner, and of course you got Billy's truck too. It's getting put back together, but my blue truck's unfortunately going to get put on the back burner. And honestly, I've been thinking about it a long time. I don't know, at this point where it's going to fit in. Because let's face it, I mean, the Falcon is doing so well in such a short amount of time, and that's what I'm used to now. And I think, I mean, the Falcon is going to be better on, for street racing and, the bad surfaces than the trucks probably ever will be. It just is how it is. I mean, it's it's basically a Mustang. So, but, so that leaves like we kind of want to make the trucks purpose built for track racing, maybe, and then leave the Falcon for the rough back end stuff. I think that's where we're headed mostly, but I really do want to, when I get the chance, get my blue truck back up and running, just so I can drive it to the gym or drive it, just to have fun with.
Sure. Well, I know I had seen, again, I try to keep up on the videos and the channels and stuff. And I know your dad had got the motor over to the machine shop and they're working on that now. So it's, I imagine it'll come back together. Without going into too much detail, obviously, you guys are, everybody's kind of spreading their wings and finding their place now. And for those of us who, kind of not grew up, but came to watch you guys coming together, and everybody's going out, as a big team, do you see there being any dynamic with you and Billy going out now versus, because obviously you guys are going far away. Your dad's working on his channel a bit. So there's, a little bit of a difference there. Do you see any difference? Like, is there, better, worse, is it one of those where you just kind of adjust to it, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're adjusting. We definitely do dumber things when my dad's not around. So
that's the fun though, right?
Yeah, I guess we the decision making is definitely not as good when my dad's not around to like steer us in the right direction sometimes.
Sure.
But as far as like being able to go out and race, yeah, me and Billy can do it. And since Allison's with us now, she does all the filming and I can focus on racing now, which is nice. But I stick to driving mostly for now. I've been wanting to learn how to tune, but I've left that up to Billy recently. I haven't figured out the laptop or the Holly yet. I'd like to one day, and I'd also like to put Holly on my truck maybe. So stuff to think about, but Billy, he knows how to back me up. I've backed him up a few times, just like this last weekend when he grudge raced the Porsche. I put him in his tracks.
Sure.
And my dad is, I've been watching my dad do it for a long time, and he's taught me and taught my brother. So we know how to do it, and we can do it. But yeah, I mean, we got it done this weekend. So
I got the clip from Atlanta if you want to see it.
Yeah.
Where the players play.
Yeah, we had Brock on the show last weekend. Actually, it was kind of funny. And he ended up meeting you guys down in Atlanta this weekend. All right, hold on a second.
Yeah, I was laughing listening to Billy talk about driving your car and how it felt like he was wheeling all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. He always admits after he drives it that it pulls harder than his truck. Yeah. Now, I've never driven his truck, so I wouldn't know, but I'm just like, there's no way. Like,
it was, I mean, from what I could see, it looked like it was rolling.
Yeah, it has some pretty good top end charge.
Yeah, like he was just donkey stomping that thing on the top end. It was just going.
That Porsche put up a really good fight in the first, 200 feet.
Yeah, he did.
Billy he actually grabbed the scramble before it even shifted into high gear, and it just took off. It ate it up. That road's actually really good. So
yeah, that was good. That was Billy was saying it was like a bucket list road for him, right?
Yeah, he watched 1320 in high school. He didn't pay attention in class. All he did was watch 1320. But that was, I guess he said he can remember watching videos from that spot in high school and like always wanting to race there. And now he finally got to. So
nice. Check it out. Oh, Dylan checking in from Peterbilt somewhere in like middle of Wisconsin. Hello, Dylan. We'll get him in later to find out who he wants to make angry tonight. Awesome. So let's talk about SRC Photo for a second, because I know that's kind of your channel, your and Allison's channel, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you? I know you said you focus mostly on driving when you're there. Billy does the tuning and whatnot. How does that affect? I'm sure it's difficult to try to capture footage while you're actively driving the car. So is most of that resting on Allison? I think Matt is doing some work for you now too. Is he shooting?
Yeah. So when Matt goes on trips with us, we kind of, we have each other's backs. So I film for him. He films for us. We're constantly trying to help each other out and make sure we both are getting all the content that we need so that we can come home and make really good videos.
Sure.
So Matt helps out when he can. And Allison has been around for, I think, a year and a half now. We've been dating.
Okay.
And she had a racing background too and camera background before we even, whatever. But so yeah, she kind of took on the role of helping film and everything, and she's been doing a really kick-ass job. A lot of people still think I film, and I get a lot of compliments and whatnot. And so they're complimenting me, and I'm like, no, it's Allison filming. She's doing just as good as I ever did.
Yeah, she's very good. And it's, I've always enjoyed watching your guys' videos. I like the editing. I like the, the content in general. And like I was telling your dad a couple of weeks ago, one of the things that I think resonates with people that watch your videos is that there's not a whole lot of fake shit going on. They're very real. It's a real family, and real stuff and real house and real, it just seems real. And I think that's why it's relatable to a lot of people, and a lot of people enjoy the content from all of you. Yeah. So, and I think that's, kudos to you guys. As a dad, obviously your dad's been a friend of mine for a few years. It makes me happy for you guys to succeed, because you always want to see your kids do well, and I think it's super cool to see you guys doing well. And obviously as a nerd, I wish you nothing but the best in the future. So let's ask, Limpy, do you think, Tommy's going to be the new killer in town or what?
Nah.
Oh, yeah. He already is.
See, just like that. But now the question is, though, you can't go by Tommy Two Guns anymore. So it's gonna be like Tommy Twins or what?
Dude, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know.
I seen that mock-up motor on that
S10. Yeah. Well, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. That was just a stupid name that they gave me. So, I don't know.
Right about the time you got rid of nitrous.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, thanks for the name. Out with the bottle.
Yeah. Well, we saw we were in Jegs one day and we're like, hey, that's a cool bottle bracket. That's cool. You'd be Tommy Two Guns, and then boom, whatever. But
that's usually how it works. Do you, having run both power adders now, do you have a preference? I mean, this is a stupid question, but do you have a preference of nitrous versus turbo, and
turbo,
why?
100% changed my life.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Nitrous is really fun, especially on a street car build.
Okay.
It's you go up to the light, purge it, and then whatever. That's cool and all, but
it's the intimidation factor.
Right, exactly. But I can remember having my truck racing locally here at some of our local tracks like Marion, and I would have to be all in the 60-foot, guessing the light versus turbo cars that really, I don't know. It was tough, man. Trying to get any mile an hour out the back was really hard against any of the other turbo cars, but
sure.
We had some really good 60-foots. My truck still holds. I my fastest 60-foot was in the truck. The Falcon hasn't beat that yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. And it's it's funny is I remember when you guys put it together and you were doing a test, the testing videos in your little farm street there, and I watched it. I was like, wow, that thing kind of gets out. I was impressed. It's such a good looking truck. The body work looks nice. Everything looks nice. And I know there's a long sordid story behind the chassis jail for probably another time.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was a contentious story, so we don't want to get into that now, but I'm glad it's home, obviously behind you. Is it done chassis wise or still gonna be finished?
Here, I'll see if I can put it in the background here. Yeah. And it's pretty much the cage is done.
Okay.
The rear mount radiator setup is in, or intercooler is in. I think the last thing we need to do, the motor plates are in too. The last thing is just getting the turbos fit up and getting all the plumbing done, I think, which luckily, Billy's been practicing on his Nova, and now, we can kind of do that stuff ourselves. So that's good.
Get to fabricate and burn holes and things. That's nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your whole family because you guys are all doing really well. And it's just proof positive that if you just be yourself and people will get behind you. So I say congratulations to you and pass it on to Billy, of course.
Thank you.
And Allison, the whole team and whatnot. I appreciate you being here. I'll turn this over to my co-hosts, Brian and Limpy. You guys got any questions for Tommy, or for that matter, Kotas and Dynek? Feel free to chime in. Cali Nate down there if you want to.
He can't. His fucking deal's muted because he's got some background. But Tommy, can you say fuck Mort for me?
Huh?
Fuck you, Limpy.
Can you say fuck Mort for me? or even fuck Trent.
What? Motherfucker! I should be honored, I suppose.
Oh, I got a new one. There we go.
Dang, I need to change my.
I'm gonna have to do fuck Limpy pretty soon, or what?
Oh, boy.
I do that all the time. Fuck Limpy.
Fuck. There we go. Fuck Limpy. Done. Like it.
No, how good was the experience out there in Florida and Georgia? Did you? I mean, it looked like a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Definitely sketchy. Like that spot that we were at, you pretty much within like a 30-mile radius, you lose all service. Like nobody has service. So if something bad happens or if there's an emergency, like you're kind of fucked. That's the scary part about it. Yeah.
Is that the video I saw where you kind of go over a crest at the finish line?
No,
yeah.
That was Atlanta.
Well, that was Atlanta.
That was Atlanta. Yeah, that's a sketchy area.
That's like oh no, I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. The track out by you, the guys do Midnight Madness at. It's like that, but opposite. Instead of going up the hill, you go over it. Katie, thank you.
Yeah. Atlanta was wild, man. Like we actually had to move spots 3 times. Within the first 10 minutes at the first spot, the cops showed up and they were serious, man, because people were like running and freaking out. Where we're from, or like how it usually is, it's like, oh well, we'll just load up. But everybody was like serious. So I don't know if they're more strict down there or what. But yeah, we had to move a few times.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of the footage. You're like, yeah, this is not what we're used to. You guys are looking around, everybody's screaming and running around like a panic.
Yeah, I think some of that crowd is the mismatched with the people that do the donuts and the not street racing. But
what is it they call it? Not takeover. Is it takeover people or flash mob or whatever the hell they call it?
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Takeover.
That in no way is a representation of Mike Kotas, by the way. That's a totally different kind of takeover. That one's cool.
That's different, yeah.
Fuck Mort.
Poor Brandon. Wait for him to get in the comments. Yo, motherfucker, I'm driving down there. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, right. Both of them.
Oh, man.
Tommy,
oh, man.
Cali Nate's in the house. What's up, Nate? How you doing?
What's happening?
Good.
How's it going, guys?
Good. I heard you had fun this weekend out there.
Yeah.
Limpy and the gang.
Yeah, it was a good time. It's always a good time when Limpy comes out, for sure. Had some good races, sketchy ass road. You guys talk about sketchy road. That is a sketchy road.
Facts.
Yeah.
I kind of went back through some of the live feed comments and all these people saying, "Oh, that road looks so fast." I'm telling you, it is not. It's not.
Let me play a clip real quick for you guys so they can get an idea a little bit. Save the rest for when that gets released.
Damn, he chose to end it where you lost, Nate. Can you believe that?
That wasn't me.
Be nice.
That was Steve's Limpy.
Oh, okay. No, all right.
Hold on.
Close enough.
Right there.
We got plenty more footage with Nate as well.
Can you see that, Limpy?
No.
Hold on.
They all look the same.
Yeah, I know.
It was a good event. I mean, like I tell everybody, don't judge a book by its cover out there because it's definitely misleading.
Yeah, that road is tricky. You got to get it in early, but you can't get in too much. I mean, you got to put in just a tip for just a second, then you got to pull it back out.
The fuck are you talking about?
That road.
I looked away for a second. I was like, what are we? Well, this just changed topics real quick.
He thought Mark was here.
Oh,
my God. I was starting to think that you really do want to fuck Mark.
Oh man.
Already have.
I got to say.
Already have. So it's, I mean, I'm looking for a twofer.
A twofer?
Oh,
You're looking
boy.
for both of them?
You looking for some tubes?
No, he's already got twos.
Limpy wants to
So
both of
yeah,
them.
we had. I think this is the first time that that's ever happened. We had a guy sing the national anthem, which was, I think that made the shootout right there.
That was cool.
On the street? That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was awesome. In the back of the trailer.
Yeah, it was right there at the back of my trailer. American flag, like it was legit. Like my buddy Hector that did all the filming from Darkside, he asked me, he's like, "Hey, what do you think about having my buddy sing the national anthem?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it. That's badass." And I mean, it gave me chills, honestly. So it was cool. I liked it. We can do that a lot here because we have certain roads that we can be there all night or all day.
Super jealous. It's tough to do.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a little different for us. We have one spot here in California. We call it the Foo. Limpy's been out here. That was for my bully bash shootout, and we were there during the day for 8 hours. During the day.
Seriously?
Yeah, during the day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
best times.
We were there for like 13 hours or something, weren't we?
Yeah, because we did some grudge racing afterwards too. So I've been lucky with my shootouts. I try not to do too many of them. I think I do 3 or 4 a year. I try to plan them well. I try to have other people run them. I've never won one of my own, so that's good. I don't have to listen to people bitch and moan that I'm cheating. So yeah, it was a good time. The car count was kind of low because everybody got sick with COVID. So that's why I did the buyback deal, because the car count dropped. So I think we were close. I think we had 28 cars, and we lost 11, and then one of the guys that couldn't make it, he actually paid the whole buy-in and put it towards the pot. So that was super cool. So we had basically 20, so that made 10 grand, and then some extra buy-in, lock-in stuff went in. So we 100% payout to all the to the racers. So I think the pot was like 12-7. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, it was a good time. People that ain't been out to the desert. It gets cold out there, people. It gets cold.
it does. It really does.
Of course,
In the
Limpy still
desert?
got short. Limpy still got short on. Yeah, it was low 20s, I think.
Holy shit, that is, but at least it's a dry cold.
Yeah, it's not wet.
It don't matter. It don't matter if dry, wet, whatever.
Well, yeah, but
It's
it matters.
so cold.
It matters. It does matter for the cars though, and the surface.
Yeah.
So you get that dewy wet 20 degrees and you can't race. So
We still get it here. I don't know about you in the Midwest. We don't give
it just depends on how bad it is, honestly. So I mean, we tested in the fog in Tulare a week before, so it was pretty bad there. So
yeah.
we sent Manuel down. Shit, it was his 3rd time in the car, and he went about 200 feet, and I couldn't see him anymore. All I could do was hear that noisy bastard.
I could still feel it.
Right, knocking over light poles and shit.
Yeah.
Noisy boiler cars.
Yeah. When he did it, when he did his second burnout, man, it almost knocked the breath out of me when he went by me.
Yeah.
That second burnout was really good.
Yeah, he's learning, man. He wanted to drive the Nova, and I mean, honestly, the Pony would be easier for him to drive, but he really likes the Nova. And the Nova's a fun car. It's just a little more car to handle, but he's doing good. I'm proud of him. The first pass, I was nervous as shit. I sat in my car with my head down because I didn't want to watch it because that road is so narrow and so sketchy. But, you know, he come back and he told me, he's like, you know, the burnout sucked so bad that, you know, I left half throttle and I just kind of drove it. And I'm like, fuck, man, I can't teach that. He just did it himself. So, I mean, that takes a lot to know how to do.
Yeah.
So he's learning and he's getting good. And I'm telling you right now, when he learns that car is dangerous. That car's a threat because it's just fast in the pony now. We don't even have any data in it yet.
What do you prefer? I know you've done both racing and organizing. What do you prefer?
You know, I like to do both. Because I like to bring all my friends together to race. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for anything. I just do it so that we can all go out and race together. You know, it's not, we don't have as many shootouts as you guys do in the Midwest. We can't go find a race every weekend within 3-hour driving distance like you guys can. So our shootouts don't happen as often. That's why I try to bring sometimes a Midwest feel to it when I have you out here and Richard comes out. You know, it's just, I don't know. I feel it's important to some of these guys that don't get to travel, that are kind of stuck over here because they don't have the ability to go travel like we do. So it's just nice to be able to provide that. So, I mean, that aspect of it, I really, really enjoy that. The work part of it, it's a nightmare. I mean, my feet and ankles were fucking wrecked because I cleaned that road. I can't tell you how many times. We ran 2 leaf blowers out of gas. I got blisters on my hands from running the mop and the broom. I mean, it was a lot of work. And then tuning 4 cars and then, you know, racing my own car. So it's a lot of work. Luckily, I have really, really good guys behind me that helped a ton. Landon and Steve. And then Doug and Kristen from Arizona, they stepped up huge. Brian Mitchell stepped up. He helped. He's a local guy from out there. So, I mean, without them, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So, I mean, a lot can be said about your crew and who's behind you and who helps you. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So, props to them.
I had a blast out there. Always do. And going to Compton the couple days before, man, that was the whole weekend.
I know.
Arizona and Compton.
Right. I wish I could have been there. It's one of those deals that I just really, really don't want to lose our car going to Compton, and Compton is just one of those places where it's inevitable you're gonna lose your shit. And I just have always told myself I don't want to take that chance.
I understand.
So I mean, we get lucky a lot of times. Most cops are cool and they let us slide. Like, I mean, we had 2 cops show up in Arizona, and you know, because Happy was bullying some schizophrenic in the corner. And
some squatter.
Yeah. So you know, a funny story about that, he actually rolled through the crowd and he said, "Where's that guy that was talking shit to me earlier?" And I didn't know what to say. And Emmanuel walks up to me and he doesn't even skip a beat. He says, "Man, Johnny came through, the guy with the bug, the guy that went over and talked to you. He came through and he said, 'You leave or I'm going to beat your ass.'" And the guy like totally bought it. And that was it. And then he was cool. The guy left and that was it. But like, Manuel didn't even miss a beat when he said it. It was funny.
So, hey, Nate, I'm going to just interject real quick. I was messaging with Tommy here. Tommy's on a tight schedule, so he's going to bid us farewell. I just want to take a second to say thank you, Tommy, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no problem. I was actually going to comment on while Nate was talking. Me and Billy would love to come out and race out west sometime. We've been wanting to go out there and race in the desert for for a long
It's a
time.
hike.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I've been
It's
watching
fun.
some of the footage.
I totally understand why you guys haven't made it. It's dedication. It is a hike to get out here. It really is. So
Well,
It's a good
it
time.
seems like
Good time.
Billy likes sand. He's at the
Here's the event right here.
yeah,
That's coming up, Billy.
Yeah.
Tommy, for you guys to go to. Some big pot payouts worth the drive.
Yeah.
right,
20 grand for the
Load up the Cummins, young fella, and Pointer West.
right. And you guys come out here. You guys, you need anything or whatever. You guys are always welcome out here. So
We'll be there for that event coming out. Our crew.
cool.
All right,
right, cool.
I'll see you guys. Peace out.
All right, Tommy, thank you for
Tommy,
joining us.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
See you, man.
See you later.
Hey, brother.
later. Fuck Mort.
As usual. Love it.
Tell me how you feel.
I gotta let them know it before they leave.
Tell me how you really feel.
That's gonna be the new thing. Before you leave the show, we have to get a clip of you saying "fuck more."
Right, we're gonna have to get stickers made.
That way we can do like I can chop up the audio like I used to do for our radio shows years ago and just do like a fuck more. You just like a big long thing of everybody, It's like
comments now.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Limpy needs to make a shirt.
I had to bring him in.
Hey, there he is. There he is. Hello,
Speaking
Brandon.
of shirts, while we're waiting for a second, we have a new one coming out. No Prep Racing is kind of like sex, better without the rubber. Raw dog concrete.
Oh,
I thought it'd make you all laugh.
oh man.
Guys like that?
One more time. There you go.
I have to tell you, he sent me. Brian sent me the concept earlier. He goes, "Hey, what you think?" And I'm like, "Boy, we're just gonna be." Like he woke up and chose controversy. I'm like, "Oh boy."
Oh my god.
What's the front? Is it black?
Yeah, let's have MSK in the front of it.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Probably more up in the corner. It's not going to be full size in the front. Just a little like on the.
I'm gonna have to have one of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some of those.
Yeah. Yeah, good times right there.
Couple 2-3.
Yeah, I'll get the design finished up and.
It looks finished to me.
Yeah, the back is good. I got to work on the front a little better, but.
Soon.
A little bit of fun.
So Nate, we'll be seeing you. Maybe. I mean, I might be seeing you this next weekend.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll definitely be there. We actually are putting together a little shootout for this weekend on some virgin concrete, actually. So that should be fun.
Where'd y'all find concrete at?
28 steel. There's some concrete. Not a lot out here, but there is some. I don't want to say where because then we'll get bombarded by people. So, but yeah, we're gonna do a little, puddle burnout 28s on concrete. No rubber down, so should be a party.
Hell yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah. So, so yeah, it should be fun, and then Vegas is soon, and then Ryan's deal in Arizona in next month. I think the 12th, right?
The 12th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I'll put it back up for you guys there.
yeah. Oh, you're gonna come out?
Yeah, we're coming out.
Oh, cool.
Out.
Sweet.
I'll be
Well, I
on
know you're
the
coming
light.
out, Limpy. Yeah. Are you gonna be on the light?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
LimpyLive.com.
I'll hit you up, Nate. We're gonna do a few of the stops. We'll come out that way too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Are you driving out or are you gonna fly out?
One of my sponsors is flying me out, and then we're gonna go to a few shops and a few other places doing that event, and I'm gonna come out to see you guys out west too.
Sponsors.
Wow, what are those?
Wow. I'm sponsored by Kia. I'm sponsored by Kia and my debit card.
Right. Where are you flying into, Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Arizona, they got like multiple airports, so I don't even know where Gila.
I gotta find out which one.
Is
I
that
think
north
it's-
or is that south?
I think that's by Phoenix, isn't it?
Probably. I'm staying with Mark Mosher. He's out there all the time.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll have our flock of small tire cars that we roll with, and then I think we're taking our big tire car too, our Chevelle. So, yeah, that car is entertaining to watch. It fucking hauls ass on that junk shit. It's fast. It's one of those cars that carries the tires across the finish line.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
impressive.
yeah, we were in Tucson. Limpy was there. He flagged it, and no prep deal, and we kept seeing smoke at the finish line when he'd let off and get on the brakes. Is the front tire setting down?
Yeah, kind of like an airplane.
Yeah, it just sounds like just an airplane.
We thought it was the turbos going away, and then I was down there at the big end, and I watched it. I was like, "Holy shit! That car's carrying the tires across the finish line." So
makes more fun for the finish cam,
right? Yeah, yeah, it was
does.
a good time. So,
all righty. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time, Nate, and we'll see you soon. And we'll come out and visit you and say hi and talk to you some more messenger.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you guys' time, and so you guys had a great time this weekend. Sorry I missed you guys, but hope you out there a little more. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks for having me on, and I appreciate it. And,
no problem.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, for sure. Look forward
to it. Definitely, and you're welcome to stay on the show with us.
I gotta go back to work. I gotta get a car ready.
Okay.
So
thanks for coming on.
I would do it at my shop, but I have zero internet there, so I have to come to my brother's house and steal his internet. So, all right.
Take care. Have fun. Catch you later.
Bye.
All righty.
All right.
Not to make things even better. We've got. Well, you got to work with it. Oh, I see Brandon is watching feverishly. Want to welcome Freddie to the pool. Hello, Freddie. Freddie's my number one fan. So we're going to go to Rick Dynek at No Prep Racing. Rick, thanks for joining us. Coming off the heels of the dreaded Rona, I hear.
Right, something like that. I didn't officially test, but 3 of the people in the house tested, so that would have been our second time through.
Well, and here you are, so that's a good sign.
It was like two rough days of just really bad cold and lots of caffeine, and you're good.
Caffeine just never fall asleep.
Caffeine and cold medicine, and pretty
much. I love it. So obviously, No Prep Racing sounds fairly self-explanatory. But for those who are not familiar with No Prep Racing, the brand, or you as Rick Dynek, now is your time to, maybe tell people a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What is No Prep Racing? What do you guys do?
Well, it was it started as just a design, and going back and forth with the wife, just laughing at her, back and forth with me, going, "You don't know shit about T-shirts, and you don't know shit about any of this stuff. Like, why would you even do this?" And I'm like. Mm-hmm. But I know what somebody would want on the shirt. It encompasses everything. I said, it'll be a cool shirt, and we, it took off. It sold a ton of shit, and I gave away a lot of shit. So I'm one of those guys that's like, doesn't pay attention as I'm giving things away to like so many directions. And, going, we got to put another $9,000 order in. Like, where did it all go?
Like, wait, we just got an order. What the hell?
Yeah. We just had 28 boxes delivered by UPS. Why are we out? But it's a sideline thing. I mean, it gets 5% of my attention. I wish I could dedicate more, but for me, most people have no clue that I sell hubcaps for a living.
Hubcaps. So
that's literally what
I didn't even know people still used hubcaps.
My
you must be the only. You must be
years.
like the only one left on the planet that does hubcaps.
I've said I'm selling dinosaurs for the past decade at least, but
it works.
It keeps me really busy, so I can't complain.
That's pretty badass.
It pays for all the incidentals and everything that the business, the No Prep end isn't paying for, like trailers and all the cool stuff.
Absolutely. So are you planning to hit the road with the No Prep Racing rig this year and visiting some more events?
I'm hoping to. Okay. I think we'll stick to probably 6 to 7 hours or less after the whole trip out to Oklahoma. that was.
Well, yeah, I remember you said that was a long ride, long ride.
It was a long ride, and it just it didn't pan out money wise for how much we forked out and sponsored the small tire class and everything. It got real expensive real quick, so it was a lot to recover. It's kind of my own fault,
Well, yeah, it's
it wasn't you just kind of paying for a vendor space type of thing. It was let's take on a whole class.
Just set up and sell out, that sort of thing. I could see that. That's a tough area, and I was fortunate to have been down there when they started doing Armageddon, and it's kind of a different world. It's just the fan interaction with the people, and it's just the lines, and it's very different from what little guys like me are used to up here. So it was neat to witness. I applaud you for going down there and
hot as hell.
Yeah, it can be, absolutely.
It was like 110 like every time I was looking over. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like
and it seems like that's why a lot of the southern events, they don't start racing till like 6-7 o'clock at night. Yeah. I first heard about that, I was like, why? Like, we're trying to wrap up by like 7 or 8 o'clock up here. But when the track's 158 degrees or whatever, really you could fry an egg on a starting line there. I understand. It makes sense.
Yeah, that trailer had both air conditioners going. It was
both. This guy's got fucking 2 AC units.
I got 2 AC units. Yeah, for sure.
Both of them. Both. He's got both of them. That's right.
I got both.
He's got both of them. Like, he opens the door and frost just rolls out.
Yeah, like everybody likes to gravitate like right by that open window because they could just feel it, coming out. So.
You guys are in the summer. You guys are wearing jackets.
Yeah.
Cool flex. That's nice.
Like I said, the site is up and running. We try to keep on that. Trying to work with writers and kind of get driver features and interviews and.
So are you working on providing like news and entertainment and information?
I try to expand it to that extent. Trying to get like the spotlight on everything that's going on that isn't in the spotlight as often.
Sure.
That's kind of my big thing. Like there's a lot. I mean, it's an untapped resource. There's so many people on that site. It's ridiculous.
And what is the site exactly? Where is it for those who don't know?
NoPrep.com.
NoPrep.com.
Yeah.
No prep or no prep racing?
No, NoPrep.com.
No
nice.
prep.
Nice, very nice. Oh man, that's fantastic.
There's just a lot on there where people can submit the events and stuff like that, which is surprising. That doesn't really happen. I mean, it's free. We average like 50,000 people in a 7-day period. And
look at that.
Those 50,000 people, there's 300,000 to 400,000 sessions.
Yeah.
These people are like sitting on the site. The bounce rates are under 1%. Like, they're there for a reason, and they'll just keep poking through. And we get roughly like 2 to 4 visits per person in a 7-day period. So people keep coming back. So that's why I'm trying not to keep it stagnant. You can only keep coming back so many times you realize you're kind of staring at the same stuff.
Yeah, so, and there's a question I had specifically for you because I know you've been kind of a devout follower of the No Prep King stuff and trying to stay on top of that because obviously in the sport of no prep and as a whole, I mean, it's the biggest thing out there.
Sure.
Whether you love or hate it really doesn't matter. You can't deny its presence and its existence or benefit to the sport. Now, I know that they're doing like 3 or 4 new shows, something like that, and I am by no means knowledgeable on this stuff because I just
hard
don't
to
have time
keep
to
track,
watch
and it's hard to like follow it all.
And that's
not enough hours in the week that I can really keep up.
Right.
I fall behind just trying.
And that's why I was going to ask, and Kotas, you can chime in here too, because I know you watch some of the stuff. Is there a point at which this bubble is going to pop because they just overdo it? That's what I was kind of curious to know is because, I mean, you got JJ had a show, the original OKC's had a show, there's got No Prep Kings, there's like Fastest in America's List, America's Wanted. I mean, I can't even keep track anymore. How many fucking shows they got? And I guess, man, there's
what I think might happen is I think it might not be as much that it pops, but I think it's going to tend to spread things thinner, drivers wise, racers wise. You have so much going on that a lot of these people, a good majority of these people have real working lives. Like you can't do all those events. You have to like skip some of them.
Sure.
And I think it'll just keep going. I think really it's come down to with as far as Discovery is concerned, I think they're just airing more content. They've always had so much content. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, like every once in a while you'll see like a small tire part of the No Prep Kings get aired, and there's a lot of people that are like all about like watching,
Well, yeah, and the guys in the editing room are like, "How the fuck did that get on the air?" Like that's, that's the running joke. A small tire never makes the show, which it should, because I personally think it's more exciting. But
there's a lot of people that would, kind of gravitate toward it more than they already are now.
Okay. And that's actually kind of a good transition, because Mike Kotas, hello, Mr. Mike, is here to talk about small tire. So we're going to talk about small tire rules in a second. Rick, on that notion, what do you think is going to be the future of your experience? Where do you think the future of no prep is going as a sport? Do you think it's going to grow and get bigger and bigger? Do you think it's going to kind of simmer out a little bit? And
I think it's going to keep growing. I think everybody kind of, I don't see it going anywhere.
Brandon Mork loves to bust my balls constantly.
I might have to rethink my fuck Mork now.
Oh wow, he's gonna turn Limpy against me. I like it. Thank you, Brandon Morko. Fucking Brandon.
Yeah, no, I personally don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, I don't really think there's a new format that would kind of replace it, other than going backwards before it. That's my only take on it.
I think the focus is going to go more towards small tire.
Small tire to be. I think there's more people into the small tire end of it.
Well, it seems like what works with the TV stuff is stuff that people can kind of relate to. It goes all the way back to NASCAR in the 60s and 70s, went on Sunday, sell on Monday, that sort of thing. Oh boy, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate getting heckled by two people that, well, never mind. We're not even going to get into that. I'm not going to make it personal. But I know Brandon's kidding, and I know Freddie's just taking notes as usual. So I think that the relatability of the small tire stuff is probably what's going to propel it into the limelight eventually, because I love the No Prep King stuff. I love what those guys are doing. I'm happy for the racers, but it's just kind of going into like basic NHRA Pro mods at this point. And I'm just kind of wondering what the next step is going to be for that show. I don't know that it will have a dramatic effect on those of us at the very bottom of the food chain, but it's always interesting to look up and see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think
at some point there'll be a reset button.
Yeah. What's that, Mike?
I said I think the small tire stuff's more attainable for the everyday guy.
I think so.
Instead of the big tires.
They're getting fast too.
Yeah, I mean, you got when the Street Outlaws came out here in Joliet on J Road. I mean, those guys are flying.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
well,
stupid.
I know. A couple of years ago, when Mike Barillo and James Strang came up to Anarchy, I want to say it was actually the one over my head right now, the June one. I think that's when they came in, and only by lucky they had an appearance canceled. They had nothing to do, so they came up, and they made an exhibition pass later because they didn't make a good lick in the first round. And I remember hearing it across the track because I was busy doing something else. Sucky part about promoting is you don't get to see any of the fucking races anymore, but whatever. And I heard people that are like, I've never seen anything that fast in my entire life. And I'm like, dude, that's what those guys do. Like, that's normal to them. In our world, our area, like that was like, being fired out of a cannon by comparison.
And it's just do it on the street is just a completely different world.
Oh, I can only imagine. I heard that particular taping was just epic, and unfortunately, I've generally politely declined, invitations to go to filming is just not my thing. That particular one I really wanted to go to, and I wound up having to go to work. I had to leave early, and I was just irritated. But I heard I missed a hell of a time. I figured I should attend one at some point because eventually they won't exist. But
I mean, and those guys, I mean, the schedule that they take on, I mean, every single night, like that they were filming, it was 5-6 o'clock in the morning every single night. I mean, it's insane. Like I give them props for maintaining that type of schedule because it's got to be tough. I mean, after those 3 days that they were there, I was wore out. It's just, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, God bless.
Yeah, we showed up like thinking we were going to see something like anywhere near the daylight,
Yeah, no.
And they're like, yeah, you just go do something. They come on back, and I'm like, man, like you can't just go to bed,
I think even like Daddy Dave was saying that night, one of the nights, I think he said that he went like 420s on J Road, which is, I mean,
yeah, and the average guy can't keep up with that. Just the normal Joe Blow can't keep up with that.
No,
that's next level stuff.
Yeah,
I remember seeing guys go that on a racetrack, in a sketchy environment. I was just like, holy shit! Now they're doing it on the street.
Yeah, I mean, and there's even big tire cars in our area that I think struggle to do that on the track, let alone on the street, So, and I think that's why, Brandon just said in the comments 418. Yeah, he said he won. And I mean, like those cars hurt your chest when they took off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're basically standing, it's borderline top fuel. I'd be interested to know if anybody's running any really hot fuel in those cars, or if they're just running, M1 or something. But
or in
I imagine,
yeah,
what's that?
Most of them are in nitro-meth.
Yeah, Chief does I think he does like M5 and he mixes it with nitromethane.
Yeah,
and like I cannot tell you enough how bad that stuff hurts.
Oh yeah, I've had the fortunate situation to be on. I've been on the starting line for nitro, rails and stuff like that, and it's a whole nother world.
Mm-hmm.
And like Ryan Martin, with his blower setup and stuff like that, like that thing, it hurts.
Yeah, and the blower cars do that. I mean, you wouldn't think about it. I guess I wouldn't think about it if it didn't have like zoomies or something like that, or even the Pro Charger cars, even with regular exhaust, like there's so much like concussion in the air just from the exhaust of the car. It's something turbo cars just don't do. They just don't. They're like forcing the air to move around you, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's fucking wild for
it's
sure.
Just the blower stuff, it's ear piercing. I mean, it's just it's like a knife going through you. I mean, it really is.
You like feel your body shrink a little bit from the pressure.
Yeah.
So let's Michael, let's talk 28 rules. You and I have been talking about this stuff quite a bit, and we're trying to kind of bang our heads together for those who don't know, and do something kind of uniform for our local area that is in line with what people are doing around the country. And Limpy, I'd love to hear your take on some of this stuff. Mike, you want to grab your little list there and rattle off what we've been talking about, and we'll get some feedback on it.
Let me pull it up here real quick. So I mean, like obviously our goal, and Trent can contest to this too. I mean, our areas, it's different. It doesn't work like most. Where you travel. Guys like Brandon and stuff like that travel and Schoolboy, and they go from town to town and travel all over small tire rules or small tire rules across the country.
Sure.
28, 10, 5, steel roof, steel quarter, and that's pretty much about it.
Correct.
Unfortunately, when you bring that to our area, it doesn't quite work. The guys in Indiana, they do the backward stuff at their track and they have good success with it, and that rule set works there because of the surface that they're racing on. At our main hometown track, Great Lakes, where, Brandon's hometown track and stuff like that, like it's hard to accomplish that rule set at that track because that surface is a lot better than people are willing to admit. It gets fast quick and nobody wants to sit next to, Boost 12's black car that he just got done. So if we do a 28-10-5 steel roof, steel quarters, that allows, you're going to be racing guys like Joey in his black car, Tony Ryan Hendrickson, all those guys. And, your street car, and I say that very loosely, doesn't want to sit next to those guys.
Right. And what we were talking about before is, there's been, I know you kind of stirred up a hornet's nest on Facebook talking about it. And a lot of people were in the comments talking about, well, just do a 28-10-5 and a no bar and it'll work. And I'm over here like, we've been doing that since 2008 when the first COTS started. Like, that's not a new rule set for the area. And unfortunately, the class has just slowly diminished over time because it just got, unattainable for a lot of people. It got really fast. And as they say, the cream rises to the top. And, maybe it's because, obviously at the time, all the events were really going up to Great Lakes. That's a whole different discussion, of course. But, it's a much faster track than a lot of guys want to give it credit for. People will be like, oh, well, it was bumpy and it was this. And obviously next year it's going to be totally different. So it'll be like starting over. And I think what a lot of people didn't realize, and even Brandon will attest to this, is that it's for the kind of racing that we were all doing. It's definitely one of the fastest tracks around.
Yeah.
And, you start giving these guys unlimited rules, and I mean, they're going to get fast. And that's what we saw. I joke around with people. I said, well, let me put it in perspective. The very first COT stuff back in 2008 was out the back door down at US 41. And the general consensus was those guys, if you could go like 9.0 on that surface, like you were a player out the back. Like that's 145, 150 mile an hour pass. You're not flying at that point. And it's the same exact rule set, but 14 years ago. Evolution is a motherfucker. So, now it's a challenge to make classes, as the guys putting on the races. And for those who are maybe not familiar with the races, Mike and I put on 2 different races. I put on Anarchy, and he puts on Key Real Street Takeover, which is right behind Brian right now. And, we're just trying to do the best thing that we can do as the event putter honors is the term I like to use for the guys that are coming to the races, at least the 28 guys. He's got some classes. I got some classes. They're all generally very similar, and it works out well because it gives the racers more opportunities to race. That's the idea. You're never going to build a program or build any loyalty or anything like that with the racers by being different just for the sake of being different. That's just petty. So we're trying to find a way, together to, keep the core class that really started all of this up here, which is 28-10-5, but make it so that it's attainable for, your average Joe guy, so to speak. And we still have, like a 28 outlaw or something like that for the killers. But that begs the question is how many killers are we going to have in this area? Because I know me personally, I think in 2020, I canceled our senior class twice because we had, 2 or 3 guys that were interested in coming. I said, I don't want to drag them out for, a pair of, a bye and a final. Like that's just silly.
Yeah.
So,
when it comes to, our area, it gets real weird, and I really can't stress that enough. The senior class for the longest time was the most desired class from a spectator standpoint to watch because the cars are absolutely flying. But now, that class kind of got unattainable for your everyday guy, kind of like the MPK stuff. And, so we started doing the streetcar stuff. Well, then like that, like everything else gets quicker and quicker. And then that's where you get people wanting, 9 or 10 different classes. And then you end up with all that and, maybe 4 or 5 cars in each class. So
right.
You get class to death.
Yeah,
nobody wants to get faster.
Everyone wants this. Everybody wants that.
Yeah,
nobody wants to get faster. They just want. Oh, I want you to sit like me.
So I can.
I don't want to get faster.
Everybody's gonna battle. Everybody's gonna fight. Just make it simple. Steel roof and quarters, and no bars in the back. And
yeah.
Well, and normally, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
The biggest thing with our area is not a lot of our guys that go to like Great Lakes and 41 and stuff like that. Not a lot of them like to travel anywhere else, so when you make
Backyard
a rule set
syndrome.
when you make a rule set for this area, you kind of have to take into consideration that because you don't want to steer your locals away, because if you steer your locals away, then your locals are what continue to make the track run.
Yeah, it's your bread and
if you don't have your locals and are on board, then it makes it kind of tough. And this area has really never been that big on people on out of towners traveling in.
Not since.
Oh, that may change this year.
No, it hopefully, but I remember for years, we would get questions about, obviously for those who don't know the history of it, the first COTS was in 2008, and Chris Hamilton boosted GT1 that came up from Texas and took everybody's money and went home. And that was kind of his thing. And, he came up for several years, but as the shows got bigger and he got busier, coming up just didn't make any sense. And I heard from a long time, kept hearing, well, you got to get boosted back up. You got to get boosted. I'm like, the travelers weren't coming. I said, guys, you got to understand something. When we started doing this in 2008, like we were one of the very few, if not the only people doing the kind of racing that we were doing. So people would travel to do it. Now, it's spread across the country. Shannon Morgan was, I think one of the first, her and Matt Plotkin did it down in Texas. I don't remember who was actually first, but
me.
Well, I meant on a racetrack. I didn't want to accuse you.
I did it 2006.
On the racetrack. I didn't want to accuse you of being on a racetrack. Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah,
Olympia gets all the credit.
Everybody wrecked every other pass, and I was like, ain't nobody going to do this
that's
shit.
Right. That's right. You told me about that. I forget about that.
Right.
Well, the point anyway is that, as the style of racing grew and more people started hosting events around the country, the people weren't traveling because they didn't have to. It's the same reason why, like, 3-time champion Keith Szabo stopped coming up, for COTS, because he had similar races that were a third of the distance from where he lived. It was just, common sense for him. So, there's something that factors into that. And that's why with my program, I've kind of tried to stay with a local focus, just because there's plenty of racers locally that you can build an event around and everybody comes out and has a good time.
So what are you guys proposing for rule changes?
Mike, you want to let it rip?
So the best thing that, I figured out, and I mean, I kind of base it around and it sounds kind of selfish, but of what I like, the streetcar stuff. And that's always been, kind of the bread and butter around here. And, back when COTS did the Street Life and came out with that they made it on a 275 radio with the cruise and everything. And we did the cruise a couple of times. I know Trent did it once, I did it once, and it really didn't have the effect that people thought it was going to have. Nope. For instance, everybody thought that Brandon wasn't going to make the cruise. And
I blame Brandon Mork. He ruined it all.
He made it. Yeah, I mean, Brandon.
Limpy, would you do the honors, please?
Yeah. I mean, he made the cruise twice and he won twice. I mean, he won the event that we did a cruise from.
Well, you can't fault the guy then. You can't. I mean,
absolutely not.
Not at all.
I mean, but everybody was looking for that cruise to be the crutch on getting Brandon out of the class.
Nowadays
it's gonna level
cruise nowadays.
Every
event I've been to, they all get through that no problem.
That's like Boost 12 said the other day on the internet, the fast are always going to be fast because they put in the work to do so.
Correct.
Facts.
And I mean, that's going to be, no matter what the rules are, you're going to have somebody that, comes and shows up and is fast, and they're going to continue to be fast. Like Zach Gerswa, or however you say his last name, and Boost 12, they, those two guys with Hans together, have made Zach's car one of the fastest cars in our area. So that car's fast, Brandon's car's fast. And there's the whole field in that class of the 28 class that we ran at MKE last year was fast. And even like Pro Stock John is on here and said, require an alternator and radiator and make them drive to and from the lanes. That's what the MKE class was last year. And it was fast. And you get a wide variety of cars, which is cool. It's always cool to see. You get a bunch of first timers that want to try it and stuff, but at the end of the day, fast is fast, and they're always going to be up at the top.
Absolutely. And as when we first started, down this path, anytime anyone asked about rules, my whole philosophy was just start at the bottom, because a whole bunch of rules is a pain in the ass. But if you just limit the tire, that doesn't matter how much power they make or how they make it. If they can't put it to the ground, it doesn't matter. Yep. And that's been kind of the guiding light with everything, at least that I've been involved in around here. And I know that was kind of the premise with 275 back in 2016. That was, of course, Hey, with Steve. He came up with that concept. That was kind of his baby, along with the whole Street Life program and 225 or 220 and all that. And it was a great concept. I applaud him for that, as I did back then. But it was one of those with basically a cruise and a 275 drag radial. I mean, I told myself, well, that's a 480 class right out the gate. Like, you get a guy like, Hamilton, they'll show up, drive around, blaring his, his freaking, Mexican samba music with a, tortilla on his head, and they'll go rip off a 480 and drive it back to Texas. Like, that's, unfortunately that's just kind of happens. So it's challenging for those of us that are putting on races to try to, give these guys classes that make sense, I guess. So here, let's go back to the rules, Mike, before we spiral into a huge discussion and Freddie gets mad at me again, because that's his thing. Why don't you just rattle off these rules? And
so basically, we're talking with Trent and everything, and trying to figure out what's going to work best for our area, to kind of be the same across the board. So, you know, he has a similar rule set like we do. So it gives people, the local people, more areas to race because, you know, let's face it, not everybody's going to go down to visit Limpy in Texas and race on the streets with them. You know, they're just not going to do that. So we came up with like a 275 street class. It'll be a 275 radial. You'll have some interior requirements like Kirkies, you know, or regular seats. Door panels, the aftermarket door panels are okay. Functional headlights and taillights, functional charging system, steel roof and quarter. We'll allow composite roofs for, you know, like T-top cars that are getting rid of glass or convertible cars. And you got to drive them to and from the lanes. So that'll be the street basis.
Yeah, that's essentially an extension of the original 275 that has been modified a couple times. It's just kind of like the next iteration.
So T-tops, you said original T-tops, if they change it out, that doesn't count, right?
Yeah, so like, you know, F bodies, for instance, like I have a 2000 Camaro, so, and we have, you know, glass T-tops, and it's a safety item, and not everybody likes them, and, you know, they do have they have a chance of blowing off, and then glass gets all over the track, and,
exactly,
you know, it's a disaster. So,
and at one point, I remember GLD had a rule that you had to take the T-tops out.
Yeah.
I imagine that was a lot of fun, about $150.
I've seen a lot of people just fill them all in and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, so, you know, we can do we'll do something along those lines for a street car class, and then we're just going to run a small tire class where it'll be 28 10 5 non-W, steel roof and quarter, no wheelie bars, you know. So
basically the next version is senior at that point.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about, guys.
Yeah.
And we also have in the street car class to kind of levitate the cars that are supposed to race in the street car class, and the guys that belong in small tire belong in small tire. We're going to do factory body panels from the firewall back. So basically what that'll do is it'll take, you know, guys who have glass doors on their cars and stuff like that. If they want to race in a street car class, it's got to have regular doors on it. We don't care about Lexan. Lexan's fine. You can run Lexan if you want to, but it's got to have at least the original doors on it. Same thing with the hatch for the trunk area.
So basically Lexan, not speed glass or polycarbonate, that sort of thing, would work. And then as far as panels, you know, obviously an aftermarket, you know, replica, as long as it's, you know, steel versus glass, whatever, that sort of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys that have a street car and, you know, it's got fiberglass doors on it, Lexan windows and stuff like that. And one-piece front ends and all that stuff's fine, but we're going to at least have stock doors and, you know, you can have Lexan on them if you want. You can have an aftermarket hatch or trunk if you want. That's fine. And interior, I mean, that's gonna be the biggest thing for the street car stuff is no exposed metal. It's got to have a factory dash or a factory replica dash in it, stuff like that to kind of still keep it, you know, street appearing.
Sure.
So I got to ask a question real fast, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
With everybody, nobody wanting to travel up there, do people get tired of racing the same mofos every weekend?
Well, here's the funny part.
Because they don't want to travel.
No, here's the funny part.
That's where the bitching comes in about the rules.
It is, and here's what's always killed me. And this is not aimed at anyone in particular because it's happened with a bunch of different guys over the years. They will complain about what goes on up here, and then they'll travel 3 hours away and race each other in a different town. I'm like, what? Like, what just happened here?
Yeah.
So,
and what I've
I don't really.
What I've noticed is exactly that. You know, they'll be pissed off and, you know, call me an asshole and all this good stuff, and they don't like the rules, and I should do the rules this way or do the rules that way.
Mm-hmm.
But then they'll go out of town and race somewhere else and race something with less rules than what I have, and be happier than a pig in shit. So it just, you know,
right. And it makes no sense. Like, let's only get this straight. We have the exact same rules here, be it with Mike or myself, doesn't matter. And it's a problem. But then when you drive 3 hours away, same rules, it's not a problem. Like, I don't fully understand that. And I know that the argument has been raised that surface matters a lot. And I know Schoolboy brought that up. Is he said, you know, as long as it's a backtrack or a street, he's like, I don't care who I sit next to. It doesn't matter. Well, I get that. But I guess the problem is up here, we don't have the open freedom to just go host a major street race on the road. Now it does happen. I know there, we do some shootouts. Rockford had a pretty good one a few weeks ago, a month ago, something like that. I think Nick actually won that one. So it does happen, but I don't think it happens on the same level that it happens in the Southwest, Oklahoma, Texas, Arizona, that sort of stuff, where they've got real estate with no one around, and the cops generally let me look at the pad. Cops just show up and they want to make room for the dump truck or whatever the fuck they were doing a month ago.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, like, the street stuff around here, it seems to have been dying slowly a little bit, here and there every year. The Rockford guys have a ton of success with that stuff. Sure. I know Limpy was out there last time, and it looked like it was a pretty good gathering and stuff like that. So, like, it's I would, and I've talked to Freddie and everybody too. I would love to do something on the street. It'd be awesome. I know I can get it done. It just you have to find 3 or 4 roads that are okay.
Or just permit the road.
Yeah, the hard part of that is
permit
the Milwaukee area.
There's a normal spots for the record. Yeah. One of those J Road again. No, anyways.
Yeah. And I talked to Freddie today and yesterday a little bit about the future this year and trying to pull some strings to get some other stuff accomplished at the track too. So that I would think that might spice some things up too. So that'll
sounds like that sounds like some backwards thinking, Mike.
I would.
And I
would love to do a backwards race at Great Lakes. I really would.
And the new concrete too.
No, I won't touch the concrete stuff.
And the asphalt, but I'm just saying that they're doing the track over. So
yeah, I mean, the track's done. And so the idea behind that is they're gonna have Kurt come once the weather breaks, and he's gonna do the first prep on it and get it all set up for them and stuff like that. So I mean, and the good thing about Great Lakes is there's a ton of room to do a backwards race. There's tons of shutdowns. It's got 2 shutdowns, and they're
like we talked about. Like we talked about before. Now you've got the concrete walls that you can move in the machine and all that stuff.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, so it's it's definitely a good track to do it at. We just have to have everybody on board, and logistically it has to make sense and all that stuff. So
absolutely. Well, hopefully
the
it'll
track's
work
getting
out.
popular. Definitely,
Well,
you don't want to make them guys mad that can't run with the next guy in the other lane. So you got to think about that.
Yeah. I mean, there is some
sponsored by Kleenex.
Yeah, there is some fresh blacktop too there. So it'd be cool to maybe try and get something off of there. Maybe
just racing the fucking long horseshoe already. Just be done with it.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you from firsthand experience, the worst thing you do is you slide a car off into the creek next door. I know because we did it and I had to drag it out to Komatsu.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it'd be nice.
That's the worst thing that can happen. It'll be fun.
It'd be cool to do something on the fresh blacktop.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
I think it'd be cool.
So we'll see. I mean, there's some things that are in the works right now that we're trying to get accomplished there. So I think it'd be pretty cool if we could.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait for June 10th and 11th. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I still gotta get with you.
Yeah, you're good. No worries.
Limpy, are you planning? I knew you were talking about you guys planning coming up, or is it not?
Yeah, I was. I just, man, I've just been so busy.
He's a busy man. He's a very sought after man. So
I understand.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
have to say that's going to be a busy. It's for locally. It'll be a busy and hopefully very good for everyone. Beginning of the month, because obviously we had our scheduling conflict, which got worked out. So you guys are on the 10th and 11th. Anarchy is on the 4th, which I think it's the 4th, right? The Sunday before or Saturday before on 41. So it's going to be kind of, it's a back-to-back 2 weeks thing. There, thank you. And I think it'll work out well for everybody as long as, to me, doing 2 weekends in a row, I think a lot of guys can do that. And when they have, rules that are virtually the same for consistency's sake. I saw that. It makes it easier for them to be able to come out and race at both events and, get, more racing without having to drive all over hill and dale to do it. So I think it'll work out well for everybody.
Yeah. And to answer John's question, I know he asked 2 two questions there. His first question was how many cars we had last year. For the 28 stuff, we averaged, usually it was between, I think the lowest count we had was 18 and the highest we had was 28. For the 28 class, I'd love to get 32. I won't stop at 32. I'll keep, if we get 50, we get 50. I don't care.
Let it ride.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never put a car cap on anything like that. When it comes to like the old school stuff, I know that Eric and Greg like to run a little bit tighter of a ship there. So that would probably be the only class that we would ever cap, and that's just per their request. If they don't want to cap it, then we won't cap it. I don't care.
And those guys have been instrumental in helping develop those classes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's nothing cooler than lighting the flashlight and having two 3,800-pound cars have their hubcaps at one each, one ear hole and the other hubcap at the other ear hole.
Rick,
absolutely.
Rick got you covered on that.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
See, I listen.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. So.
Y'all hit up Rick at no preparation or hubcaps.
Hubcapworld.com or whatever.
So, but yeah, I mean to touch, that's enough. To touch.
No kill.
Yeah, to touch on Limpy and all. Yeah, I mean that's the plan, is to have Limpy come out for June. So I think that'll spice some things up with our area. I'll show you.
What do y'all think about? Hell yeah, that's my.
Is it more than 32 then? Because
that's my
amount of counters coming now.
Have y'all thought about doing a 26-inch tall tire race?
I do. Go ahead, Trent. Go ahead.
Well, I guess Limpy, I would ask, are you specifying like a drag radial type of streetcar thing or a 26-inch slick? Because
20-inch slick.
Well, we did
like
that for
8.5, like 26, 8.5.
We used to have a class that came out in 2013.
I mean, I remember back in the day when and then
we had Gangster. That was the 26-inch class.
I don't know, Gangsters or.
No, that's just
or whatever. I just know 26.
Yeah, that's just what we called it up here. And it was basically the 28-inch, the senior rules, but with a 26-inch tire. And it did well for a while, but eventually it just kind of died out. So I put it on the shelf last year. I have to look, but I wound up having to put it on the shelf, unfortunately, because it just my computer's freaking out here. But unfortunately you guys still hear me okay? Because my screen just went blank. Okay.
I see it. I see it making a comeback. I
log back out, Mike, and then come back in again.
What's that?
Mike's got to log off and come back in. He's got frozen.
Yeah, no worries. I know my whole screen just went gray, but if you guys can still see and hear me, there you go. He's coming back in a second. Weird. But it's possible. It might. It's a matter of, I know originally like our gangster class was a quarter-mile class. And it was fast, and it was a lot of fun. The first time we ever ran it, Devin Schultz in the Red Demon. It's a Talon built by Boosted Performance locally here, and I think Hoffman Estates. I think they're in. And he won the first one. Everybody freaked out about all-wheel drive, and you know how that goes. Well, the very next race, he lost to Plumber Kevin in a fair and square race. So all-wheel drive didn't have all of the winning. What are you laughing at over there, Brian?
Yeah, I was having fun with you. That's all.
Well, I can't see it, so hopefully it's not that much fun. My host, something in my computer freaked out.
He'll be back.
Be sure to get MSI.
Well, I'm glad you guys are doing that with the rules, and you guys are doing the basic rules in 28s, and that should be the same place everywhere. And it seems like that's what everybody's adapting to now.
Yeah,
and I think the cart count might have to get bumped up a little bit because it definitely. There's Limpy's coming, and we're going to promote it too for you guys' events. A lot more car counts going to come in the 28th.
Well, Chris, you're booked on the 4th already. You can't come up for the 4th. Is that right?
Let me look. I
think you said you got some in Houston.
Hartshorn. Yeah, that's Hartshorn. That's a street legal race that we do. It's on the streets.
On the streets,
and it's permitted. Now the town puts it on. The town puts on the event.
Aren't you the one that just questioned the permit comment earlier? You're like, permit?
No, I was like, permit. Hey, how do you get one of them? How do you get a permit?
Yeah, no, you just asked Juice, and he's really good at it. He's done a bunch of permitted stuff up here. So
what I missed? Sorry about that.
That's okay, Mike. I'm currently looking at a gray screen. I can't see anybody, so if I'm still here,
okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I got Boost Mobile over here.
Freaked out. Yeah, I know. Apparently I got to put a fucking quarter in this thing or something. I think, you know what it was? That son of a bitch. No, you know what happened? No, dude, Freddie hacked my shit. That's what just happened.
Yeah.
He wanted me off here so bad. He just hacked my shit.
Oh boy, let's play nice. Come on now.
What was the 26-inch talk?
I said 26 inch, like 8.5 slick, just like, I mean, the tire equalizer.
Yeah, we're doing a radial at our event at Twin Rivers.
Well, and that's how I've
that kind of class.
The class that Mike's about to outline here in a second. It's loosely, it's kind of an evolution of the what I call junior class, which back then we called it junior and then named it 28 senior, just something kind of catchy, but it's basically a streetcar class that's built around a 26-inch, DOT drag radial. That was the premise of the whole class, and it did really well for a while. It fell off a little bit. I made a couple changes and made it an application basis last year to kind of weed out some killers and whatnot. Just try to protect the little fish and give them a place to play, and it went really well. And we had a lot of fun. We had some serious upsets, and the guys really enjoyed it. And I don't speak for everybody at all. I just say that my philosophy with doing races is I just want people to come out and have a good time and enjoy themselves. I mean, obviously it's competitive and people want to win. There's money and all that stuff. But when people leave a race upset because they feel like something went wrong or they didn't enjoy themselves, they're not as likely to come back. And I know there's going to be a lot of people in the peanut gallery got stuff to say. I understand that, but the numbers don't lie. What we've been doing has been working. And that's kind of the focus. The whole team is committed to it with my program. If guys aren't having fun, then they're not going to come back. And that was kind of like where old school came from. Let's just get some badass old school iron out here and just have fun. And then when Eric and Greg got on board with that, I would just have at it, guys. Just, put together something awesome and refine it. And let's just, I'm glad that they're racing with you guys now, Mike, because it's a great class that everybody loves to see. It's just awesome.
Love that wheelie that went over your head from last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trent, did your stuff get fixed?
No, unfortunately, I'm looking at a gray screen right now.
Well, I can see juicing behind you. Is that your lot lizard?
Oh, wow.
He's about to juicing on your head.
Oh my God. That means he finally got out of the gay bar.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
To kind of touch on what Trent said, I mean, that was the whole reason why, I had got with Freddie and said, let's try something, let's try put something together, something local and see where it goes. I can tell you that I never planned to be where I'm at currently with it. That was really never a goal of mine. So, but it's cool to see,
How are those gray hairs doing?
Yeah, they're growing by the day. Growing by the day.
I know that struggle.
They keep you busy. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
Doing my first one, Mike. I'm doing one in Twin Rivers.
He's looking.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you. Actually, I'll post it up here for everybody while you guys are chit chatting.
I wish I could see it.
There you go. So that's a sketchy track, kind of like the War of the Woods type of thing.
Sure.
We're doing some basic thing. We're doing the same rules that basically you guys are talking about for our 28s, a small tire basically.
Virginia. Huh.
Yeah, we promoted up to 64 cars though, and it's probably gonna be packed out for a small tire.
Yeah, I saw Patrick. Patrick was in the comments too. He was talking about it a little earlier.
We got a lot of lock-ins already this far away.
Nice. And that's the other thing too, with the lock-in stuff. I mean, we're probably gonna move to cash only. Just because
with that 299K.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they've put a restriction on friends and family, but
that's what they say, but I don't know.
I don't want to really risk it.
I'm about to get my sermons license or wherever we become I'm going to be ordained.
It's the Church of Limpy.
He's going to be a 501c3 charitable organization.
Yeah. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. We have Sunday service on Limpy's channel and on MSK. There we go.
Just make all checks out to asphaltministries.com. Yeah, and that's
that's the thing now. Okay.
I was thinking about that too. I was reading over my PayPal accounts and all the legal mumbo jumbo, and they swear up and down it's goods and services only. But the thing is, and I can only speak for myself. It's not uncommon that just in lock-ins and sponsor money and stuff alone, between $20,000 and $30,000 depending on the event.
Right.
Like if all of a sudden PayPal's like, no, we're just going to hold on to that for a while. Like, no, that's not an option.
Yeah,
like, that's not even an
my
option.
Fear every
right.
single time I
it's
go to transfer money out of my PayPal to my bank account.
Right.
I'm like, they're going to lock it up this time, and I'm going to get screwed. You know.
Yeah, and you
like,
can't.
It's just not worth it.
And it's one of those where I structured all. I've had my corporation for my business for many years. So the amounts in and out don't set any alarms or anything like that. I have to sign for it and not structure it and all that typical shit. So I don't worry too much about that because there's a track record of large money coming in and out. That's just the course of business.
That doesn't help. I've heard for people getting still locked out.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I'm not worried about from a tax standpoint or IRS standpoint. I'm worried from a PayPal making up their own fucking rules standpoint. Like that's not.
And like I might, I'll probably do something small, maybe like a $25 or $50 like lock-in fee or something like that.
Sure.
I'll gamble on something like that, but I don't want to be gambling full payout or full lock-ins and stuff like that. It's just
I like
it's not worth it to me.
It's very true. Now, Kentucky Cash Days, he did the same thing. He just you bring your cash right there on the spot and call it a day. And I hear a lot of other people are starting to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I really kind of want to do the same thing, but
yeah, it's just, logistically, because in the end of the day, like Jasper said in there, that 177 cars and they had $1,000 buy-in. If you have that money in your PayPal, and Uncle Sam just says thanks, I'm gonna hold that. Like
mine.
Oh yeah. So you got to have that money on deck to basically pay everybody out.
You got to have a backup.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. It's and it's one of those where it's never been a problem before. I like to keep it that way. Pretty sure everybody else is in the same boat.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to show up, be like, hey, nobody wants to pull a grand hustle. Let's just start with that, shall we?
Yeah.
I didn't really want to go there, but it's the only example.
Hey, somebody else is trying, from what I heard. They're getting pretty bad, though.
If you're just honest up front,
absolutely.
Hey, we got 177 cars. We're gonna pay out 177.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Honesty.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Honesty would have been his friend at that point. I mean,
yep.
And the drivers, when you say, hey, look, we don't have X amount of dollars, but we still got over, 50K or something like that to pay out whatever it was. I don't remember the exact numbers, but
it still, it still holds. It's going to hold a money record for a long time.
Sure.
And it was, a minor lapse in judgment, whatever you want to call it. Obviously didn't seem to. Yeah. What's that?
Shit happens.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot, it's obviously it was kind of here today, gone tomorrow, and then obviously that drama was replaced by Happy's, Kentucky Cash Day Spin Fest. So
I will say, since you brought
that was wild.
Up, I'm super excited to see where that goes because that track looks like they're busting ass to try and make
it's
make everything
fast.
Yeah, make everything right.
Fast.
Yeah, I mean it won't be fast maybe the first couple of times, but it's gonna.
It's gonna be fast.
Yeah.
And Happy paid out more than some. I think he had 30 something cars, and he paid out more than the event that had 100 and
Didn't he?
He paid out a lot.
$30K out of his own pocket or something like that.
No, I mean they just
or sponsors. I mean,
he literally. What was it? I think Limpy, he was saying before in the show, he basically every dollar that came in got paid out, like everything.
Yeah. That's badass.
Which is wild. I mean,
I think he ended up paying like I think it was like over $30,000 for a $300 buy-in race.
Yeah,
and
that's insane.
Cars.
It's unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's and that's awesome. I'm excited. The ones I know it's coming up in March, right?
Mm-hmm.
March 26th.
Up here again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a ride. And
you got to come down, dude.
That's a good time. That's a good time.
Now that I don't work weekends, all I gotta do is get a vehicle because I ain't
It's
driving my freaking Scion to Tennessee.
It's against Reverend Limpy's to work on the weekends.
Hey, they even put the gambling
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Gamble above the start line, which is awesome.
Yeah, I saw that they put in
little walkways to be packed, but
and all that stuff. So I mean, they're definitely trying to make it right, which is awesome to see.
Yeah,
36
absolutely.
cars and paid out 31,000. Digger Die had 97. They paid out 29.
Yeah.
Same buy-in.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Brian, can you show that flyer again?
I got a child abduction on my phone here.
What? Hopefully it wasn't you.
No, it was in Buddha.
You got it?
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just documenting my computer fryage on my Facebook story so you guys can see it later. I'm not lying. I'm
You
shocked
tell
this
Ju-
thing's actually still working, but
Tell Juicing to get off the screen behind you.
yeah, right. Are you still seeing my background at least or no?
Yeah, we see Juicing back there. Juicing it up.
I'm serious, you stupid ass. This is so bizarre. I literally took a snap of it. It's just my green screen behind me and the computer's dead in front of me, but it seems to still work. So
That must be one of them Dells or something, or HPs.
nah, I don't know. Maybe I just overtaxed it.
You come visit the store.
I could do that. What do you know? You know how to fix computers or something?
Maybe.
So Brent, when's your plan with the hoodies?
We're gonna make an announcement next week and start doing a pre-order on that and just finalizing everything.
I'm gonna need a fat boy size right here.
Raw dog, the concrete.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely need some.
I'm just waiting for another vendor to give me a quote, so I got 2 others, and so I can get the best price for everybody. So I'll let you guys know what the final end of the day is going to be. It's a little expensive nowadays, what it used to be. So
Hell yeah, that's why I'm not making shirts right now.
yeah, it's going to be sticking with them for a while.
Yeah, there's garment. I mean, I don't, and Limp, I know you've done some over the years. You know, just garment vendors are. It's always, I won't say it's hit or miss, but you know, there's some really good ones and there's a lot of bad ones. That's what I've learned, and you know, trying to get into the merchandising and dealing with garments and all that.
That's why I'm
I don't want
terrified.
cheap and cold.
I'm terrified. Like I'd love to do them. I'd love to do a run of shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I'm terrified of it looking like some little kid made it in a basement somewhere.
Yeah, I've used 2 vendors over the last 20 years, so I've only used 2 different people. So
yeah, I've been very good. I've had a very good luck with a vendor out in Iowa, West Iowa, that was referred to me, but the shipping is just killing me. You know, they do great work, great products, but it's a lot of money in shipping to get this stuff out here. So it's an option.
Comes from California.
What's that?
My shit comes from California, so shipping is fucking rough.
Good Lord,
I can
you
only
understand
imagine. This stupid RC hobby that I got myself into.
I blame schoolboy.
Man, I'm telling you, like one of the main hubs, I guess you could say, they're like the Amazon RC cars. It's called A Main Hobbies, and they're in California. That's where all their shit ships out of.
Okay.
No bueno, man. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no shit.
Absolutely insane.
I know. And it's funny you mentioned RC. There was a hobby town, Lake in the Hills, is 5 minutes from my house. Matter of fact, it's across the street from where I park my trucks. And unfortunately, well, I would, but they closed down like 2 years ago just because people were buying all the shit online.
Hey, I could send you something. We'll figure it out. Limpy, that's what we gotta do. We gotta do an RC race on Friday night.
Dude,
there we go.
Dude, well, hold up. Limpy,
Limpy,
do you know about there was a big RC race that a local club did up at Great Lakes? They had like 250 entries and paid out like $25,000 or some crazy number.
Yeah, I watched a video on that
for RC cars. I was like, holy! They brought out the whole track. They set it up. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, it gets pretty wild.
How far do y'all actually run on them? Y'all don't run the 8th mile, do you?
So it's all the cars. All the cars are 10 scale, so we do 10 scale quarter mile. So
it's 132 feet.
132 feet.
Oh, and I'll play it. While you guys are talking, I'll pull a video from it.
They did that, Mike. They did that in the drift pad, right?
Correct. Yeah. Very, very back corner of the drift pad.
Okay.
Like you said, it was 200 and something entries. And it ended up getting Mother Nature ended up coming through on that deal on the last day of the race. So they ended up splitting, and I think the outlaw class, after they all split, I think it totaled up to be somewhere in like the 15K range.
How much?
In the 15K range that they split.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's crazy. I mean, you know, you can easily have, you know, $1,500, $2,000 wrapped up into an outlaw style car.
Right.
And I mean, these things will do 70, 75 mile an hour.
I know that you guys
at 132 feet. It's insane.
I know you guys.
I bet you that's like watching JJ race. Watching things.
Whoa! No, you didn't.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
All over
there are lots of wrecks.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Limpy, you're a savage. I love it.
Actually, right behind me over my shoulder, that's a stack of RC bodies.
Oh, here we go. Holy shit.
Yeah, they're fast.
That was a Friday night, I think it was.
Oh,
is that
yeah.
at the,
Yeah.
Is that at the
Yeah.
Northwest Raceway, the Indiana one?
We got rounds going, so.
Yeah, that was
God
that was
dang.
Friday after MKE. Everybody brought their RC cars and stuff, and they were out on the track for quite some time messing around with them.
Hell, that looked like Vegas. They're running 4 wide.
You know what's funny is going back many years ago, I had a guy race me at an old real street drags in my diesel pickup truck with an RC car. We were doing like a 330 race or something like that. And he got out to about the 60 and just walled the fuck out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God. At least he didn't turn right. He'd have been under my tires.
Yeah, I mean, the technology that's involved in those things. I mean, I tune my RC car on my laptop, just like I would my regular car.
They got dynos for that, for the RC
Fucking
cars.
Fast and Furious
Get
shit.
the max out, get a little past the 8, time it right. But
They got Holly
Yeah,
on
they
them
got
or what?
No. What's cool is
like
they got guys out there that they'll do like a motor test, and it'll tell you where it's happy timing wise.
Hey.
Yep.
And all
It's
that
kind of like
stuff.
the junior dragster stuff. Then I bet kind of.
I wouldn't necessarily put in that category because they're actually fast.
Well, I know that, but same.
Wow.
Same.
Holy shit, I got a screen back.
Oh, where'd you put Jason? Is he downstairs?
There we go.
Yeah, so
He's out of range now.
Well, ever since they went to brushless, RC is like the whole world changed.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got a couple.
The first one I ever bought was an Arma Senton, little short
Okay.
course truck, and that came with a brush motor, and I put a brushless motor in it, and that thing was like a night and day difference.
Yeah, I've got a couple of beater 4x4 slashes I bought for my kids off a buddy of mine. They're just 2-cell lipo, brushless, that sort of thing. And they're ignorant fast for what they are. Like if you hit it, I told the kids, I'm like, do you hit an ankle with that thing? We're calling an ambulance. Like you're going to break someone's leg. That thing weighs so much.
They don't feel good when you accidentally hit the throttle instead of the brake and it goes over your shin.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, the 4x4 trucks, they're like freaking 7 pounds. Like they're heavy.
I have a T-Max, one of the first.
Yeah, then you know.
With the Clodbuster tires and like the full body.
The
frame.
Clodbuster, you're
They gotta
dating
weigh,
yourself.
Like 20 pounds.
It's right next to your frog, or what?
I had a frog.
Yeah, I know. We all had a frog.
Yeah, frog.
Right now,
Yeah,
all the kids are like, "What the fuck's a frog?"
Yeah, I had the Hornet, the frog. Hell
Did you have a frog, Limpy?
No.
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about, do you?
And then that'll age you. I bought the
Street racing.
the RC10, the coveted RC10 when it came out. I bought one of those, and that was
I have an aluminum tub RC10 behind me on the shelf.
Yeah, the gold tub.
Yep, still have one.
Hell
It's
yeah.
in pieces, but I still have one. Man,
Murder, stab, kill.
Yeah, right. Wait, what did you just say? Murder, stab, kill?
That's what my dog's command words are. Murder, stab, kill.
Oh, I thought that was a new abbreviation for MSK. I was like, damn, okay.
Oh, well,
Ryan, are you
no.
checking us out? It's now Murder, Stab, Kill Media.
No.
Everybody dies.
It'd be murder,
I
kill,
know what you're
stab.
talking
It'd be murder, kill, stab, wouldn't it?
MSK? No.
Yeah.
Murder, stab,
Murder.
kill.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking at behind
Must
me.
be that Texas education down there.
Yeah. No, I didn't play with them little Hot Wheel cars or whatever you call them.
Yeah, I never.
Well,
We were just in
They
the
got
street.
expensive back then, but now it's a whole nother world.
Well, yeah, we were kids. I was in freaking middle school or some shit.
Yeah.
After
So
that, it
now
was freestyle bikes.
These guys are making carbon fiber chassis and stuff like that, and you're buying chassis kits that are $600-700 just for the
That's
chassis
just
kit.
nuts.
Oh, dang.
I'll buy a ready to run things and just go play around with it and then put it away and never touch it again. That seems to be my MO.
Yeah, I mean those are cool too because you can get those for like $400 or $500. You
Right.
just need a battery and a charger. So
Right. Well, hopefully I'll get my other ones running, but I think we've been at this long enough. We're pushing 2 hours. Brian, you want to wrap this thing up or what?
Yeah, so go through the calendar real quick. And
Yeah.
Everybody's still on.
Oh my God, we don't have Kara. We can't go through the calendar without Kara. That's just wrong.
So we got
Calendar's postponed until next week.
All right, guys. So you can go to Midwest Streets Kings.com, and there's a calendar there. You guys can see the race calendar on there in real time. It's constantly updated. When Kira puts something on there, it's on there. So you guys want to go check that out at MidwestStreetsKings.com. You'll find all the calendar. So some new ads. And Olympia, I just found out, is also going to be at this event that we talked about earlier, the rundown at the runway out west on
Stir fry?
February 12th. So definitely a big dollar race. A lot of hitters are coming to that. MKC Max.
20,000 guaranteed.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
The drive, guys. I'm just saying, some of the East and Midwest guys need to go out there.
Where's it at?
Gila Bend, Arizona, I think.
Let me see if you can turn.
Yeah, Gila
There you
Bend,
go.
yeah.
I can see it.
Nice.
I like the name Stir Fry Racing. I think I'm gonna have to go get some.
Yeah, good time.
Panda.
I'm telling you, real good time.
John Ryan, just to let you know, I've had a hood for my car for since it was done 3 years ago. It's hanging up in my
Pro
garage.
Stock.
Yeah.
We actually had a long talk about that. He talked about John. He talked about putting a hood on his car, and I'm like, no, dude, nobody will recognize your car. Like they'll riot.
The hood and the
That's
car.
not Kotas. That's an imposter.
Yeah.
So
Fuck hood.
Fuck, like Limpy would say, fuck
hood.
the both of them.
Take the front clip off.
Both of them.
Both of them.
It's all one word. Both of them.
Both of them.
BOFFEM.
Both of them.
That's exactly how Uncle Bill spelled it, by the way, in his video when he
did.
scrolled it across the bottom.
Yeah, he did.
He said, both of them, as Limpy would say. It was really funny.
I watched that before I came on here.
Yeah, I screenshot it, but it's not on my account. I was at show it to you, but Limpy will send it to you.
It's on Juson's phone.
There you go.
Oh my God, this motherfucker!
We got a few more. We got a few more new events that are coming out too. They're added to the calendar. Battle at the Asphalt on April 15th and 16th. We'll be there doing live stream for that one. So definitely a good event going on
Wait,
there.
please hold on, put that back up for a second, would you? You got to give these guys honesty. You got to give them credit for honesty. Hard tar, small tar, big tar. Like,
oh yeah,
that's some country shit right there. I love it.
Hey, it's country out there. It's okay.
Where's it at? I didn't even see where location.
Ardensburg, Kentucky.
US 60.
Okay. US 60.
That's another track I'd like to hit.
You got big tires or small tires? Like, what the fuck? What are you paving?
It's gonna be a good event, anyways. And
Absolutely.
yeah, there's good guys down there. We have another one recently is April 23rd. We have Slugfest. No prep. That's going to be a high dollar. He's already got $5,000 in sponsorship money. I think I'm going on small tire on top of the pot. So that's going to be a high dollar payout out in Kentucky out there and a good racetrack.
Nice.
So that's a new event that's just coming out. In addition to that, we're going to be down April 1st and 2nd. No joke. The baddest small tire at the Gut. This is definitely one for the bucket list. Definitely got to do that. We'll be down there as well too. And Limpy's doing the flashlight on that one. And
Billy. Hey, Limpy,
that's
do you
just
know?
like-
Limpy, do you know what smaller tire is?
I think it's a 28.
Smaller. Yeah, because
so they're going to do 29s, right?
Because typical, and correct me if I'm wrong, Limpy, typical small tire stuff down by you originated was 29.5, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. And then they ran the smaller tire, which was a 28 10.5.
Yeah. No non-W's.
Non-W.
Naturally, unless you
Rubbed it off.
you razor blade them off. Oh, it's a non-W.
That's been known to happen a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hillsborough Springs, No Prep is coming up on April 9th. It's always a good time. It's more of it's a airport, but street type. So that one's a new one getting added in.
What state's that in?
That is in Wisconsin, actually.
Oh, that's the race that Dylan said Dylan got fucked out of. I mean, screwed out of. I mean, out of.
Yeah, pretty much. I heard
Fucked out of.
Yeah,
Fuck them guys. Fuck them guys.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was actually looking forward to that. That would have been badass.
Yeah, it was looking like a good deal until the details kind of came out, and I wasn't involved, so I'm not going to speak on it necessarily. I just say that what I heard I didn't like. I'll just leave it at that.
What the details of how they
should be definitely a good event, though.
It sounded like some backhanded stuff. I mean, it has nothing to do with me. It's just from
what I've heard, it sounded like
pretty
small-town
shady.
Politics.
Yeah. So, but
having politics. Oh my God.
Having dealt with the town of Paris a couple times, I can tell you a few things about small town politics. Cash Days 2.0. Now with 50% more traction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. This one's gonna be fun for sure.
The 730 track and made it a 480 track.
Right.
Yeah,
730.
I want to see 450s and 430s there. What are you talking about?
Well, what Rain can say he went when he
He'll
won.
be
It
down
wasn't
there.
it like 680 or something like that at like 67 miles an hour or something. I thought he said.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Insane. It's horrible. The all-wheel drive went the fastest. I think it was
Tesla.
104 or something like that. Tesla of all things.
Basically, a
That
giant
won't happen
RC
again,
car
though.
won the race.
Yeah, no kidding,
bro. I'd like to see some RC cars. We should have seen some RC cars. That'd been pretty cool.
Oh, that'd have been a good time on that one. Heck yeah, it would have
Absolutely.
been. Anarchy coming up on June 4th. Place to be, and MKE on June 10th and 11th, and September 9th and 10th. Always a good time. I'm telling you guys. You guys like War in the Woods. You guys are going to like both those two events we just posted up. So it'll be a good time at the starting line. Lots of betting. And I think that's the gist of most of those. And again, have a little fun. We got a new hoodie coming out next week. So
yeah, we got to finish working on that. I still think we should probably put the MSK logo on the front, depending on how you want to do the layout.
There or something.
Then, we'll work on an image or some sort of picture for the back. But I think slogan wise, I think it's
you should maybe just raw dog the pavement.
Yeah, you like that?
So I mean, because that could go for concrete or blacktop though.
Yeah, it's true.
Instead of just, I mean,
I will speak the letters and make it white.
Now everybody wants to put their dick in concrete, Both
maybe
they want to try blacktop. Both of
them. All the
raw dog, both of them.
Definitely. So,
oh, hey, there's Dylan. Sounds good.
Right, where else are we at here? I think things are.
I was going back to some of the comments that I missed here, so don't mind me. Alrighty, but pretty much that's what we had. So you can go to MSK or MidwestStreetKings.com. See the Curious calendar on there. You guys will see all the latest events, what's going on. The calendar is getting packed. And definitely check out the events that we posted. And definitely appreciate it over there. I guess. Thank you, Rick, for staying on with us. Hope you had a good time with us. And we'll see you again.
NoPrep.com.
There you go. NoPrep.com. Go check them out. Support them. They got all the latest news. Submit your events coming up onto his page too. What Limpy just said, you heard him.
Fuck Mort.
Yes.
Oh, wait. What was it again? What was the other one?
Fuck Trent.
What? Oh. How about fuck Limpy?
Oh, boy. Oh, well, that'll get far, but all right.
I'll show you how limpy it is.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
All right.
No problem. I'll bring my telephoto lens so I can.
That's all right.
Nope.
It'll be all right.
Oh, where'd it go? Anyways.
Oh, that was actually kind of a funny transition.
Mike Kotas, thank you very much for coming on again. We love having you. We'll definitely see you again.
Michael.
And
the fuck did I just miss here?
That's going to be all over YouTube, Limpy.
Yeah, there you go.
That's Trent.
Like that.
That's Trent.
No, unfortunately, Mike or Brian kept switching the windows around, so I missed what Limpy did, but that's okay. Happy, thank you for.
He's very good at what he does, so.
Yeah.
That's why he's the
Just go
Limpy.
to the 1 hour and 57-minute mark on YouTube when it's on there.
Yeah, don't worry, I will. I watch the shows every day afterwards. That's how we figure out what's
there he goes again.
Motherfucker.
You notice Trent just turned sideways, so he can't do that.
Yeah, well, I tried to make it so it wasn't as intrusive. I was trying to get it below the video.
That's what we said. Howard Stern called and wants his microphone back.
Right. So Brian's got the same mic, but you see, Brian just has the tip visible. He's playing just the tip game.
You're used to the tip, aren't you?
No, I'm
It's
not.
all shaft after the head.
I'm not an amateur.
There we go.
There it is.
Oh,
If we're gonna go,
all
go
shaft
balls out.
after the head, man.
That's what they say. That is what
That's
they
juicing.
say.
He knows.
You have a thing for juicing and for Mork. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Maybe they have a thing. I don't know.
All right.
But anyways, you guys all have a good night. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you all. Check out Limpy.com. Check him out. All his events and live feeds and stuff going on. Support him. We got a new merch shirt coming out, so a hoodie and t-shirt. So get ready for the pre-order for that. Go to noprep.com. Support Rick and what he's got going on over there. Definitely check them out. Check out the MKE event behind me coming up, guys. Check the there we go. Wherever my finger goes. The Anarchy down below over there. Yeah, there we go. And you guys have a great night. We'll see you guys and have fun. Be safe out there in those streets and stay warm if you're up north. That's all I got to say.
It's cold
fucking
here too,
cold.
so it's
It was
cold
4
here.
degrees
Oh,
today.
Limpy, how
talked to
cold
Dylan
is it?
today. It was -6 in Minnesota. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
At least it was
was
6 degrees here.
19
where-
here. It's 19
That's where it
here.
was. It was 6 below. I went to Baraboo this morning.
Yeah.
It was wind chill 4 and it's 19.
Down by you?
Yeah, in
Yeesh.
Fort Worth.
Wow. Shocked.
Good no trailer season right now. Right
Yeah,
now.
there you go. Where the trucks, tow pigs, right?
No, that's for no
That's
trailer
it.
cars.
No trailer. Okay, there we go. All right,
They don't
guys.
cry about guys faster than them. That's next to them.
Oh, there's
boy.
Dylan's comment. Oh, we got a new one now. We got a new.
What was that one?
All right, we'll see you later, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you very much
You
for
have a good
coming.
night.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Take care.
Thanks for going. Fuck Trent.
Wow. Fuck